If you're asking for a man to provide for you in 2025, you're panhandling. What happened to being a strong, independent woman? Asking for money in this day and age, you have a bank account, you're begging. It's okay though, beggar.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Let me tell y'all this, bro. This is coming from Provider Man. You feel me? I don't believe in 50-50. Okay, my girl don't pay a damn bill in the house. My OG told me, D, find a girl that don't make it a requirement to take care of her. Okay, it's not a requirement to pay her bills. It's not a requirement to fund her life. It's not a requirement to retire her. It's not a requirement to take on these fancy ass dates every time y'all go out. Find that girl and take care of her completely. Retire that woman. Serve her for the rest of your motherfucking life. Because a woman like that, she not with you because of what you got. She with you out the strength of the love and respect that she got for you as a man. And that type of woman is a reciprocator, okay? So when you pour into her 100%, you provide for her 100%, she gonna take that and multiply it tenfold, I promise you. Because when these women be on here saying, I'll never go 50-50, or if a nigga can't pay all the bills, he not a man, please understand, bro, that's not a woman that's looking to build and grow, okay? She's looking to be served. Her love is conditional. That woman's not loyal to you, she's loyal to what you can provide for her. So God forbid life happens and you lose your job, or one of your partners get in a pickle, you gotta help them, or one of your family members get sick and you don't got the money for her, or she out the door, she gonna look for the next nigga ASAP. And the same thing go for my girl. She don't gotta cook if she don't want to. She don't gotta clean if she don't feel like it. Okay, cool, go lay down, watch a movie, I'm gonna order this food and I'll figure it out. I'm a grown ass man. I've been figuring this shit out way before you came in the picture. I'll be okay, I don't need that. And I ain't worried about her abusing that because I ain't choose a woman that would take advantage of my generosity. Okay, she pouring to me simply because she want my life easy just like I want hers to be easy. But because I chose a woman that's looking to be of service, she cook for me every day. Every day, nigga. I can wake up at 2 in the morning, she'll wake up making me some food. She clean this motherfucking house, top to bottom, help me take care of my 3 big-ass German Shepherd dogs, put in for groceries, try to help put in for rent. I'll never take it, but I appreciate the consideration. And she don't gotta pay for shit. The money she makes is for emergencies. I'm gonna retire that woman by the end of this year, mark my words. And me being a provider ain't conditional. Okay, she go the whole month without cooking, a whole month without cleaning. I'm still gonna take care of all the finances because it's a partnership. Okay, it's not a contract. If she can't put up, my role is to pick up where she's falling, and vice versa. A toxic person is looking to be served, okay? A person that loves you is looking to be of service.
Oh, I knew they were coming. Okay, let's get to this. Y'all stay calling somebody broke because nobody won't take care of your begging ass. Y'all always in somebody's comment section talking about, if you're broke, just say that. You know, the only people that call people broke are broke people. Because misery loves company. Because people with money don't give a shit whether or not you think they got money or not. That's actually part of the deal. You're not supposed to know they got money so they can keep their money. And then they're over here talking about, women provide all the emotional support, all the housework. How about instead of you chasing a man who can take care of your begging ass, you make sure to pick a man that can take care of this emotional burden, the housework, and the parenting child raising. And women have to go through the hard labor of having the kids. We both wanted the kids. They ain't a favor to me. If you don't want your kids, just say that. We don't even have to have the kids. You're literally just being a basic ass adult.
I was talking to one of my guy friends about what it means to him to be a provider, to provide for a woman, and he's a little older. He's in his late 30s, and of course he wants to provide financially, but ultimately it's not just that. He was like, I want to make her life easier. I literally want to take away her problems, her worries, so that I can say to her, what are your dreams? What are your passions? Now I'm giving you the ability to pursue your dreams and your passions because I'm covering you financially. I'm taking away your burdens and your problems so that you can do what you want to do with your life. Like, that is what we want.
Just because a man can provide financially, it doesn't mean that he is a provider. When we talk about a provider mentality, a lot of girls automatically think money, and that's where we actually go wrong. Because first of all, if you're 19, another 19-year-old cannot provide for you financially, as in completely provide for you and your life. That doesn't even make any sense, really and truly. As his girlfriend, you shouldn't want that, right? But a provider mentality is about how he treats you and what his priorities are. Does he provide a nice life for you? Does he think of you when he does things? Does he hold your hand? Does he open doors for you? Does he think of running errands on your behalf if you can't do it? All of these things are a provider mentality. Provider mentality is not just about money. It's about what can this person do for you outside of money? What are their habits? How do they think of you? What do they think of you? And how do they let that manifest through their actions? So when you're thinking of a provider mentality, especially as a young person, do not think that a provider mentality is literally somebody that will buy you things and do all the monetary things for you. No. A provider mentality is somebody who actually wants to better your life and lead you into a life that is better than the one you're living in now. And yes, at some point that will mean financially, but a lot of the times people just take it as financially, and that's why they're in relationships that are not working, because a man can provide for you financially and be a horrible man, and be a man that cannot lead a family, be a man that cannot stay loyal, cannot stay consistent, cannot be depended on, but he can provide financially, of course. So you have to be very careful.
Being a provider is a great thing. It's honorable. But don't let her treat you like an ATM, because, you know, relationships are always a two-way street. Don't forget that. But, you know, don't be a bum either. That's all. Okay, bye.
One thing that women don't necessarily realize about men is that we do want to be providers. We do want to, like, do nice things for you. But being a provider doesn't mean that you can't also do nice things for me. Like, I took this girl on a date a couple weeks ago and ended up spending like $300-400. Didn't really care. I was like, oh, we had a good time. I care more about like doing things that are enjoyable than like how much it costs. But I was hanging out with the other day and I was like, hey, she was like planning on going to get a coffee. And I was like, oh, would you mind getting me a coffee while you're getting a coffee? And she was like, why would I do that? And immediately that exact moment, I was like, yeah, you're friend zoned. I'm never going to take you seriously. And I probably won't take you on another date because I'm out here. I got her like a bottle of wine the other day, bought her food. Like, and it's not about the price tag on things, but you not being able to do something for me because you think that men should be the only ones that do things for women is a little bit of a turnoff for men. Like, that's why a man won't ever take you seriously if you aren't willing to do like a tiny little act of service for them that really doesn't cost much time or effort.
Ladies, this is exactly how men feel about being a provider. If we are doing our part, we expect things in return as well. We expect you, not every time, not all the time, but sometimes treat us too. If we are spending money on you, spend money on us too. What's wrong with that? Show love. Reciprocity goes a very long way. That is the least that you can do. Do not expect a man to pay for literally every single bill. Every single thing. If you guys go out, sometimes treat him. Sometimes treat him to dinner. Say, you know what? I got this, babe. Once in a while, do it. Out of love. Show love. Show us that you care. Show us that it is not just us that is willing to spend money on you. Show us that you are willing to spend money on us too. Is love not reciprocal? Is caring not reciprocal? Be thoughtful. You know what we like. Be thoughtful in your approach. I'd say about 95% of men do not mind being a provider. But what are they going to get in return? And a lot of girls these days, especially, they want you to be that male who provides for them and takes care of their whole life, but they don't want to play their part. That is where men have an issue with. If I'm taking care of my stuff, you better be taking care of your stuff. And if you're not, this is not going to happen. This is not going to work. I'm not your father. I'm your partner. If I'm putting in effort, put the exact same effort in as I am.
No, I'm so sick of people saying it's a man to take care of a grown bum woman. Listen, provider men get it the worst when it comes to divorce. If you fuck up and cheat, or she decides to cheat, or she decides she's tired of you, those are the men who get hit the worst. Also, this is something that we don't talk about enough as men on the internet. Women do it enough. But if you're really worried about your kids and, you know, the ease at which they're living, you need to be making sure that their mom is happy. I know that that sounds crazy, but a stress-free mom, no matter if she's working or not, I'm not talking about a woman sitting at the house not doing nothing, oh, stress-free. I'm saying, like, especially if y'all going 50-50 on bills, man, you need to make sure that she's taken care of. Like, when she want to swipe that card, she need to really be able to, man. I know that y'all ain't gonna like this message, but you know, if y'all happen to get a divorce, y'all living in two different places, y'all got 50-50 custody. She call you like, ain't no food in my pantry, ain't no food in my refrigerator. The kids are hungry, woody woo. Me personally, I'm pissed. I'm there in a second. We going to Aldi. I'm taking $200-300 and going nut. $200-300 to fix a problem like that, bro. Come on, bro. Take $200-300 and go to Aldi and just fill your basket up. You won't spend it all. You feel what I'm saying to you? And if you really worried about your children's quality of life while, you know, it's their mom's week, you have to make sure that their mom is happy. That's something that guys hate to hear, but it's true, bro. Like, man, you don't want that woman it's her week, she ain't got no help, meaning you, and she fucking pissed and stressed and going to work and doing all this shit by herself, yelling at your fucking kids. Ugh. For that alone, man, I don't want my kids nowhere where they ain't wanted, where somebody fucking stressed because of them. I don't want my kids nowhere like that, man. That shit, man, just to know that a lot of kids are in situations like that. Women talking about we never leave, the men always leave. Nah, shawty, you got to stay. That's why y'all be abusing kids. Statistically speaking, the worst place for a child to be is with its mother. Like, I know the whole man versus bear shit. Yeah, way more moms kill their kids than bears kill kids. But back to my original point, like, that's when it comes into men picking better, man. Because whether you like it or not, you have children with a woman and you really fall in love with them kids, man. If you really love your kids, nothing her crazy ass can do to make you not give a fuck about how they living. But when you hear it ain't no food in that house, you gonna be sick. You gonna be like, damn. You gonna be like, look, let me just take y'all to the grocery store, get whatever y'all need, woo-de-woo. Cause you want your kids to be in a good fucking environment. At least that's me.
I do apologize ahead of time because I'm going to hit a nerve, but could you imagine being a provider, man, where you sit up here and work all these hours and you're with the woman and you're trying to give her the lifestyle that she says she wanted, and you're just working your best because you do love and you care for this woman, all for her to end up turning around and saying you was never home. I feel like we don't love each other anymore and I want to go see other people, even though the only reason you was away from the home was to work, to pay for the lifestyle that she says she wanted. Could you also imagine having kids in this situation, and then as your kids start to get older, they feel like they don't know their father because their father is never at home because they're always working to provide this lifestyle where the kids never have to worry about money. Kids go to the mall, kids go to the movie, kids are going on vacation with their friends, and they never have to worry about a dollar. That you put them in one of the best schools you possibly could have, all for them to turn around and being like, you was never there for me. Could you also imagine losing the house that you was paying for since you was the provider man, and then you end up losing it in the divorce, and you're now paying alimony since you probably stayed home. The wife stayed home to take care of the kids, and now you got to live in a one-bedroom apartment as your ex-wife is living in the house you paid for with her new man. And the kids still might be there, and now they live in like one big happy family for a structure that you built.
I made a video talking about how I don't understand why men complain about women who want provider men when they could just go for women who are down for 50-50, because there's so many of them. And a lot of the comments were saying the reason we're mad is because women want a provider man, but then they don't want to complete their traditional roles. Like, sort of like what do they bring to the table then if they just don't want to do the traditional part? I guess maybe I was in a little bit of a bubble, because in my head, if a woman wants a traditional man, then she herself is traditional, because that's how I am, that's how my friends are. I can admit, maybe I wasn't looking at it holistically and thinking about the other perspectives that if what these guys are saying is true, then unfortunately I agree. If women are going to expect a man to provide for them, they are going to expect that traditional role from a man. Unfortunately, you do have to fulfill the traditional role as a woman. Sure, there will be guys that don't care. Sure, there will be guys that don't mind if you work, but you don't need to work, but they don't mind if you do. But most will probably not be okay with that. And I agree with this. You can be financially independent and still want a provider man. But let's talk about what that looks like. Does that mean your man is 100% providing for you, yet you have a job that's making a good amount and you're only hoarding that for yourself? What's the point of a marriage then? On the flip side, if you are financially independent, you work, your man works, he's providing for you, and you guys pool together your resources, then that's not really him providing for you. You're pooling your resources. So it's like as close to 50-50 as it gets, even if like the amount that you guys are contributing is different. It's no longer like a traditional setup. It is a little contradicting to want a provider man, a traditional man, without being traditional yourself. Most provider men are going to expect those roles to be fulfilled at home. They're going to expect their home taken care of. They're going to expect their kids taken care of. They're going to expect cooking, cleaning, like the classic stuff. Unless you happen to be one of the few women that goes for the super elite rich men who like don't want your money whatsoever and can afford all the extra help.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Can someone explain to me what it is that men get in return for being a providing man? I'm talking about the men that show up emotionally, physically, financially, and never complain because they take pride in providing for the woman in their life. It actually makes them feel good to see the women in their lives happy. What do they get in return other than these narcissistic nagging, controlling women. These women will put everything on the internet. Outfit of the day goes on the internet. Relationship in trouble, go to the internet. Dating advice, go to the internet. Horrible dating scene, go to the internet. What is it that these women are giving in return if they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to have children, they don't want to give anything in return other than simply existing and looking pretty? And the majority of women are not even attractive enough to be having a laundry list of expectations. Let's just be fucking for real. You take off the filters, you take off the Botox, you take the lip filler away, you take the lashes away, you have not an attractive woman. Or at least not a 10 out of 10 like these women have their inflated egos. So you get to be treated like shit. You get to be called narcissistic. If you have money, she's going to call you broke. She's going to pretend that she's like this victim, but behind the scenes, you're providing for her while she sits on her phone and seeks attention from other men. So tell me, what is the incentive for these men to continue to provide for these women who do nothing but shit on them all day long? And then if they actually decide to commit to these women because these women love to put on a show and know how to fake a good personality to get the ring or get the bag, then he actually runs the risk of losing everything that he worked so hard for. These women are not worth paying for submission. So make it make sense. What is it that incentivizes a providing man to continue to look for a good woman? Okay, bye.
Hey ladies. One time I told a dude that when I get married, I want someone who is going to provide for me and pay all of these bills. Duh. He said something to the effect of, you don't want a man, you want a dad. You must not have a dad ever, blah, 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 blah. No, sir. I do have a dad. That's why I want that. My dad spoiled me to death and still does to this day. If I call that man right now and tell him I need some money, it's going to be in my cash app within the next 10 minutes. So you think I'm going to go from that to being in a relationship with a man who don't do nothing for me? Does that make sense to you? Like, just make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's what a man is supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, if that's not how you feel, that's completely okay. There are plenty of women out here on the earth who do not believe that a man's job in a relationship is to protect and provide. Go find one of them and do whatever it is that dummies do when they get together. But if you want to be over here, it's going to cost you something, sir. Sorry, blame David.
Men, stop doing this. Stop spoiling your girls. This lady sounds extremely entitled to what a man has, wanting you to pay for every single thing without doing anything for you. Spoiled and entitled people are actually one of the worst people to date. That is what they know, and that is what they expect out of you. Being a provider is an amazing thing to do, but make sure that you get your return on investment.
Unpopular opinion. Our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, they were not better providers than men are today. They just lived in a time where life...
You guys ever listen to a boomer describe their work history? This shit be making no sense. What do you mean you were a delivery boy for 30 years? So you were a grown man working as a boy and making enough to support your entire family? And they never fired you and your position never went away. Stable ass economy. You just worked you got one job as a delivery boy and just worked it for 30 years because it never went away. Wow. Then they gave you a pension at the end of it. What is a pension? I can't even spell pension. I'm never seeing nothing like that. Nobody in my generation is ever seeing something called a pension unless you work for the government or something. I had one boomer tell me that he paid his way through college by working part-time in the summer and then using the money he saved up in the summer to pay his tuition, the whole thing, his entire tuition with no scholarship. What type of fake fantasy reality is that? That makes no sense. Fast forward to 2025, you can work a part-time job on top of your full-time job and you still can't eat right. You still gotta gauge whether you could go to Applebee's this weekend or not. And I don't even know how anyone is affording kids. This is outrageous. The way they were living back then, the way you could just be a milkman and then have 6 families, they're just walking around creating random families. It's not like that no more.
What a man does for you is financially provide by paying for all your bills and buying you gifts.
You know, there's a fine line between being an ATM and a provider. Most people generally never mention the balance it takes to rely on each other's strengths, to compensate for each other's weaknesses. A man that only provides monetary value is no more better than a woman that provides only sex. After a while, you're going to want more than just that. You want to know that you can count on someone to be the more observant one. You know me, you're around me. Can I count on you to be my safety rails? Can I rely on you, confide in you, without it being used against me? Can I trust you when I turn my back? Because a person who only provides thinks that they're buying your silence. They have an excuse to do you wrong because they do so much monetarily that they do not need to devote or understand you. They just pay the cost for you to turn a blind eye. Being that you do not have it yourself, most would be happy with that arrangement. But just know that there's a difference between a provider who doesn't just provide money. He provides the same structure that you say you want. That is the main difference between a provider and an ATM. An ATM is generous, but it's only generous because that's the only way that they think that they can go in and get you. They see you as buying a TV or any other thing in a grocery store. Once I've had enough of this, I can throw it away and get another. A provider invests in you, so they can't just throw you away. They want to go and get to know you, grow with you, care about you. Consequently, they expect you to do the same. But yeah, that's the difference between a provider and an ATM.
I really want to stop this thing that's been going on for so long. This whole saying that men are built to provide or men are made to provide. Like, that's not true. Why? Because women are just as equally able to provide for their families as men are, right? And some women are more educated and more financially stable than men. Now, there's reasons for that, but I just want to state the obvious that it's not that men are built to provide, it's that men are willing to provide, right? And just because a man is not willing to provide does not mean he's less than a man. That just means that individual man is just not willing to provide. Men weren't made to provide. They were willing to provide. A woman can do everything a man can do. It's going to take more effort and more time. That's it. More effort and more time. If you want it done faster, quicker, and easier, yeah, of course, hire a man to work on your car. But if you want it just done, hire whoever the fuck you think is going to do it. If the woman's going to do it for cheaper, let her do it. She's going to do a good job. It's going to take her longer. Your car may be there all day at the shop, but she's still going to get the job done. So yeah, let's stop saying that men are built to provide, because that's indicating that women are not. And I'm not a kodo for women, I'm not an advocate for women. I'm an advocate for men, and I'm trying to get men to get out this mindset that, oh, I have to provide. I'm made to provide. I got to do this. I got to do that. That's an Americanized mindset that needs to be thrown out the trash, and we need to get back on the page where the rest of the world and society is on. And that is simple as this. Two people that come together, both should be equally responsible for providing. If we go out on a date, we should both be paying for that motherfucker, and we should both be interested in investing into the relationship. If you're more interested in me paying for your meal and less interested in getting to know me, then we already have an issue, and I probably should dismiss you. That is what I have to say. This is Unfiltered Vibes 5. No bye.
Are y'all okay? Like, are y'all good? Y'all do know that our husbands have lives outside of working and providing, right? Y'all do know that, right? They have expensive hobbies outside of work and providing. Whether it's golfing, hunting, fishing, bowling, gambling, like, they are living their best life while we get to sit back and live ours. We take trips together solo as husband and wife, and then we do family trips together with the kids. We have dates solo as husband and wife, and then we have family night out. Like, this is a balance. Marriage really is work. It's never a case where he's just going to work to make money to provide for his family. Speaking for my husband, he is much more than a provider. And a damn good father, must I add. When I'm unable to fill in the gaps, he is at the doctor's appointments and dentist appointment with the kids. When I'm unable to show up, he is at the schools talking to the teachers. Like, it's more than him being a provider. And it blows my mind how y'all just speak on stuff that you have no knowledge on. He is a leader. He is a provider. He's a comforter. He cares. He listens. He's faithful. he prays, he protects. Like, I can go on and on and on. And I understand, like, the internet, you only get 30-second clips, and a lot of people feel like they can freely formulate their opinion based on the 30-second clip. But our life is too complex to fit on any timeline. So don't let these videos get it misconstrued. Most of these men are put in a position to provide because of the woman that they're with. Most of these men are put in the position to provide because of the woman that he is with. She done pray over that man, pour into that man, encourage that man, uplifted that man. And a lot of y'all, and not to even sound like a pick me, but a lot of y'all women don't even have self-love. You don't even value yourself to even come across that type of man. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's best to just be quiet. Don't be so quick to speak on a life that you're not even living, because these rules don't apply to you. So be quiet. Be quiet. Don't be so quick to speak on a life you ain't living. Number one. Two is we speak our life into existence. Never say, I don't want to be the type of wife that my husband have to sit and pay my bills. Baby, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. And that's all I'm going to say.
So even if I am unemployed, so who cares? I don't care. But I'm not going to date a man that's unemployed, because how are they going to provide? That's just how I see it.
I feel like so many young girls have taken this men are supposed to provide and used it as a men are supposed to provide, so I don't need to strive to be anything in life. Men are supposed to provide, so I don't have to have any finances to my name. Men are supposed to provide, so I don't need to have a car. I don't need to have basic things to take care of myself and sustain myself, because I'm going to find a man who is going to provide everything for me. And that is the worst mindset you can ever have in this life. Don't take the notion that men are supposed to provide and then go and make yourself a liability because you don't have the things that you need to sustain yourself. It is very important that you have your own money as a woman. And I'm a strong believer in that you're going to attract your equal. If you haven't had a job in 8 months, why would you think that your equal is some $1 million CEO? Now, there are rich men who want someone to be a liability to them, but I promise you their intentions are not pure, and their intentions are damn sure not to have a life partner. They might want what's in between your legs, or they might want someone they can run over or control. But that's not something that you should try to set yourself up for.
Financial stability could come disguised as manipulation and control, which is exactly why you have to be really careful when it comes to picking a provider man for your life, because some provider men use their ability to provide financially as means of controlling women. One of the worst things that a woman could do is surrender her independence and her autonomy into the hands of another man, and I'm saying that because there's hundreds and thousands of women who are out here looking for the archetype of a provider man. But you have to understand that in some cases, these provider men sell you a dream just to get you exactly where it is that they want you, and so you don't do anything that's beyond what their desires of you are. For example, a man might tell you, stay home, baby, you don't have to work, you don't have to go clock in at a 9 to 5, you don't have to own a business, you don't have to do any of that. And he'll tell you that with the intention of keeping you at home so he can control you and overlook everything that it is that you're doing. And that sounds nice. No need to clock into a 9 to 5, no need to deal with annoying coworkers, no need to deal with an annoying boss. It sounds like the dream, but when you really think about it, surrendering your independence to somebody else means you're entirely dependent on them now, and that is a huge mistake for one primary reason. If things don't work out, what are you going to do? You have nothing to fall back on. You have no income to fall back on. You have no job to fall back on. You have no business to fall back on. There's nothing to your name that you have when you become entirely dependent on somebody else. God forbid you get cheated on. What are you going to do? Now you're stuck with a cheater, and that's because you surrendered your independence and your autonomy to somebody else, and you allowed them to take that power from you. That is why it is so important to remain independent, have your own things you can fall back on, because there's no better feeling than to fall back on something that you know is yours if things don't work out. I'll give you an example. One of my exes was with one of those provider men, and she said that he would pay for absolutely everything, the car note, the car insurance, the phone bill, everything. He was funding her entire lifestyle. One day she said that he came up to her and he was like, I want to look through your phone. And she was like, you want to look through my phone? What do you mean? That's my privacy. Who pays for it? I pay for it. So I have the right to look at your phone whenever the hell I want. And there was a huge argument over that, and she said that after that experience, she would never let a man fully provide for her. She would always have her own shit to fall back on, and that's a smart move. Look, I know a lot of you want these provider men because it sounds nice. Maybe some of you are lazy too, but that's beside the point. You have to understand that these provider men do not see you as equals, because if they're paying for every single thing in the house, they're funding your entire lifestyle, and they're providing for it all, they're gonna feel like their say is more important than yours because they're paying for everything. On top of all of that, a lot of provider men feel ownership and entitlement over a woman because they're funding her every aspect by providing financially in every area of her life. They feel like they own you. I know a lot of women want provider men, but wait until you actually experience a provider man who thinks and operates like this. It's going to be a living hell, which is exactly why you have to maintain your independence and never surrender it to anyone's hands.
I was actually speaking to a old friend from school, and she is a stay-at-home mom and married to a narcissistic man. This guy is very toxic, very controlling, very insecure, and very rich as well. And so he uses money to trap her. She relies on him for her bills, and so he has all the power. And ladies, you have to be very careful of this. Men who use being a provider as a means to trap you, to control you, to constantly be at the top and manipulate you. Be very careful. Men only provide for 3 reasons. Number 1, out of genuine love. They absolutely love you, they adore you, and they want to take care of you. That's the first guy. Number 2, they are expected to, and they just have to. They have to take care of you. And the third type of man who provides for you is the manipulative man. He uses money to get exactly what he wants. This type of man can be very controlling, very sneaky, very manipulative, and he can be very dishonest as well. This type of man, steer clear from him. Not all providers are doing it from a good place.
I love when y'all ask these questions. Someone asked me, what is the man getting? I'll tell you exactly what the man is getting. The man is getting the freedom to go about his day. The freedom to not have to worry about dishes, cleaning, as well as a peace of mind. But most importantly, he is getting a return on his investment. Because while he is investing into the household, I am investing in any other investments that he wants to indulge in. If he has a business idea, I now have the funds to compensate for those deals. With him paying the bills, my income becomes disposable. And if he has anything that he wants to invest in that costs monthly, I can compensate for that. I don't know about y'all, but that really sounds like the dream team.
Now, I love me a nice sprinkle kiki, but I am genuinely terrified for younger and impressionable women in our society who run with the whole sprinkle provider male mentality, and that's literally all they're searching for in a potential suitor. I watched the Trophy Wives video, and as a mom myself, my heart absolutely breaks for her and her family. But I love that this has sparked a conversation about the detriments to the sprinkle mentality, the provider male mentality, and just things that we as women need to be careful and look out for when choosing to date with a hypergamous mindset. Provision does not start and end with finances. A man providing for you financially is truly the bare minimum. And I think that's why as women, it's so important to develop yourself financially, emotionally, spiritually, because I think that gives you the clarity to really see that like financial provision is the bare minimum that I could ever ask for from a man. How is that man protecting me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically? Is he a man capable of providing the fatherly characteristics that I would need for my children? I think the problem with this sprinkle thing is that a lot of women are dating out of desperation. And when you date and marry out of desperation, what you see, you see. For my younger ladies out there, Louis is not worth the detriment to your mental health. Louis is not worth the devastation it can cause to your children and your children's children. The man you choose to partner with will either propel you further into your destiny or hold you back and truly be the cause for your destruction. Choose wisely.
One thing I don't like is stop speaking on how, oh yeah, these provider men, they pay for everything and the women just sit back and chill. Like, women who date provider men do not get everything taken care of by a man. Like, it's different types of relationship dynamics. Most dudes that are providers are providing the rent, household bills. It takes way more to maintain a household than just the rent. Like, you still got to pay for groceries. That costs about the same amount as rent. You still got to pay for utilities, household products, childcare, kids' clothes, extracurricular activities. Like, y'all need to mind y'all business. Just because he takes care of the household and she takes care of the extra expenses does not mean that she lazy, she chill, she don't work, and he pay for everything. Like, y'all just be sitting up talking. Like, y'all don't even know what y'all be talking about. Most of these chicks that date providers have a job. They have their own money. Like, she's helping out too. She just don't take care of the home. Like, y'all really be blowing me. Like, just stop talking when y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Y'all know that man didn't say anything wrong. All he said was, I'm not that type of provider. And what's wrong with this generation, what's wrong with that sprinkle, what's wrong with that city girl mentality is it's gotten too many of you with a misguided idea of what being a provider is, specifically for men. When you think of a man providing, you only think of the monetary. And I want you to open your horizons and I want you to think deeply. Get to the core, because that's surface level stuff. He may not pay for every hairdo. Every nail set may not be on his card. He may not be handling every date. But there's other aspects of the relationship in which he should be providing for. He may not handle it all the time with the money, but is he providing spiritually? Is he providing trust? Is he providing protection? Is he providing knowledge and wisdom and guidance? Is he providing a shoulder for you to cry on? Is he providing a space for open communication? Is he providing a space for you to be exactly who you are? Sometimes he can provide the things that money could never purchase. Y'all are too consumed with money, and at the end of the day, y'all never even in relationship with somebody who got it. You sit around talking about you want men to be more honest. You're tired of men lying. This man sat up and he was honest. He said, I'm not that type of provider. I can't handle all of that. I'm not doing all of that. And you sit in judgment, and that's not even your man. And the man you do got really don't pay for nothing. The men you do got don't even be having no job. The man you do got, idea of a fancy restaurant, is still to this day Red Lobster. Yeah, the call is coming from inside the house. Inside the house.
The reason I will never be a provider man and pay all a woman's bills in a relationship is because I didn't like the way it made me feel. Right? It exposed just how not misogynistic, just how patriarchal the provider man thing is and that gender role bullshit is, right? Because I did that shit one time in my life. One time I let a woman move in with me. One time I was paying all of my bills and I was paying for her shit too. And I was letting her keep her money while she was working at McDonald's, right? And basically, I would tell her to do something. Matter of fact, I didn't even tell her. I would ask her to do stuff, and she'd be like, nah, I don't feel like it. I'll do it later. Hey, babe, can you make some breakfast? I'm not in the mood. Okay. Hey, babe, I'm hungry. Can you make some dinner? Maybe tomorrow night or some other time. I don't feel like it. Oh, okay. Hey, babe, can you, hey, while I'm at work, can you clean up the crib? You know what I'm saying? I got you. Come home after a long day of work, crib not cleaned up. Hey, babe, I'm at work. I need a uniform for tomorrow. Can you put my uniform in the washer and dryer for me so I can have it tomorrow when I get back? Come home. Got to do my own laundry, my own work laundry, because nigga fell asleep and ain't do shit. Hey, babe, what's up with you? I'm trying to fuck. Yeah. Nah, I don't want to right now. I'm not in the mood right now. Oh, okay. And the fact that it wasn't even the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gotta say yes, but the fact is, since I was financially in control and financially I was paying for everything and handling everything, I felt entitled. You know what I mean? I felt extremely entitled. I'm like, bro, you don't have no you don't have no autonomy. You don't got no say over what you're not going to do. If I ask you to do something, do it. If I tell you to do something, do it. Because you're not doing anything else, right? I gotta go to work. I gotta pay the bills. This shit don't stop. I gotta continuously do this. But you, it's like, it's on your time. It's if you want to do it, or you just not gonna do it at all. Oh, and I forgot, boy, the way I started to resent her so bad, bro. Having to come home from work, paying all the bills, and then having to make my own food sometimes, or having to clean. I was like, oh, hell no. And then sex or something like that. Whenever I want sex, it's like, no. But then when she wants sex, I gotta give it up when she wants sex. Now it's a problem when I'm trying to do something, or I'm playing the game, or I'm just not in the mood, and she wanna have sex. But when I wanna have sex, I'm tired, babe. I'm going to sleep. But when she I gotta drop everything. When she wanna see, and I was like, bro. And I started to hate her. I started to hate this woman, bro. Cause I'm like, bro, ain't this how it work? I pay money, I pay bills, for your shit and you do what I say. You're subservient to me because I have the money and I'm paying for all the shit. You don't get to say no to me. You don't get to have your autonomy. You don't get to have a choice, bro. That is your job, to do what the fuck I say. Clean this motherfucking little apartment up. Make the goddamn food. I'm still paying for the groceries too. I'm paying for the bills. I'm paying for the groceries. Nigga, cook the shit. Nigga, clean. Nigga, break me off some pussy what I wanted. What the fuck? And it made me feel like that. I didn't like feeling like that. It's like I said, it's like an entitlement. It's like a bro. This is what that means. This is the dynamic, bro. I'm paying this money for servitude, bro. Money, I'm paying you for service, basically. Money for servitude, and you're not serving me, bro. You're telling me no. I don't feel like it. Or you're not in the mood right now. I don't care about none of that, bro. Do you care that I'm not in the mood to go to work? Do you care that I'm not in the mood to pay the bills? Shit, you the bills? Care that I'm not in the mood to go to work or that I don't want to pay them shits? No. So why should I care when you're not in the mood? Why should I care when you don't want to? Nigga, fucking do it. And that's how I felt. And I didn't like feeling like that. So when I'm in a relationship and I'm living by myself and she has her crib, I ain't got no expectations of that woman at all. She can do whatever the fuck she want to do. Or when we're living together and we're both paying bills, I ain't got no kind of shit expectations. You do what you want when you want to do it. If you want to cook, okay. If you don't want to, all right. If you do want to clean, if you don't want to clean, all right, I get it. As long as I don't mind doing it, but help me sometimes. But like when you're going 50-50 with a woman or whatever, or y'all living by yourselves, it's very easy. It's very easy. It's not complicated. It's not hard. There ain't no resentment. There ain't no, if she don't feel like it, that's okay. If she don't want to, that's okay. You know, if she not in the mood, that's okay. You know what I mean? But when you're paying for a woman's whole lifestyle and she's under your roof, it literally feels like being a parent, bro. And you tell them to clean their room and they like, no. Or do their chores and they're like, no. Huh? What the fuck you mean no? And that's how I felt like. Did I ever like express that to her? No. But I began to really dislike her and resent her because I'm doing all this stuff and then I'm coming home and have to do stuff. And I remember one time, this is a couple weeks before I broke up with her. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this shit no more. I came home from a hard week of work, right? And you know, Sunday's cleanup day, right? You know, I'm black. Sunday is the day you clean up. So I turn music on, and I'm cleaning up the apartment. I'm in the bathroom on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor. And she's walking around on her cell phone, you know, watching TV and smoking a blunt. And I'm like, yo, you trying to help me, yo? You know, it's Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You trying to help me clean up the apartment? And she's like, no. Where I come from, we chill on Sundays. I was like, bitch, I don't give a fuck where you're from, nigga. Where the fuck are you at? In my fucking apartment, nigga. Help me. That's why I didn't say that, but I felt like that. And she was like, nah, I'm cool. And she went back to chilling on the couch. I was like, never again. Never. I'm not saying all women are like that, because they're not, but I will never put myself in a position to ever be in a situation ever again with nobody. You're either, I'm going to have my own apartment, you're going to have your own apartment, or we can live together and split everything. To avoid any negative feelings, any resentment, any type of controlled feelings of being in control and entitlement and none of that shit. But I'm not doing it. Never again. I'm not doing that provider man shit. And then even in a perfect world where I did do the provider man shit and I was getting dinner all the time and breakfast all the time and the house was always clean and laundry almost always done and I'm getting ass every night and all this stuff. It's like, bruh, I could have more money in my pocket, in my bank, in my savings account. If you working and we both paying bills, I could have all this stuff and then have more money too. You know what I mean? Like we both could have more money, not just you. Because paying, like, I appreciate the cooking and the cleaning and the pleasure and stuff, but if I could sacrifice that and chop that in half to get half of that service and keep 50% more money in my pocket, why wouldn't I choose more money in my pocket? You know what I mean? So it's just that provider man. It just no matter what way you slice it for me, it's just never the move for me personally.
Ladies, this is one of the main reasons why men do not want to provide anymore. It's because of ladies like this. Though he chose the wrong lady to provide for, this lady was just extremely lazy and did not do her part. This is exactly how resentment sets in. If we are expected to take care of everything, we expect you to do your part. And if you do not, we will feel unappreciated, used, abused, and not taken care of. Anybody will feel that way when you do stuff like that. Ladies, how would you feel if you cooked, you cleaned, you took care of the kids, and you did your part, and the man was not providing? You would feel insulted. You would feel like, what are you doing? I'm taking care of what I need to take care of, and you're not doing your part. like what's going on, and you will have resentment and lack of respect for that man just because he is not doing what he needs to be doing to make you feel taken care of. At the end of the day, both people need to be doing their part in the relationship to make it work. The problem comes when one person is doing what they are supposed to be doing and the other person is not, and it builds a lack of trust, resentment, hate, a lot of anger, a lot of just lack of love. Do what is expected of you even when you feel like you do not want to do it. At the end of the day, love is about duty. When men provide, ladies feel loved. And when women nurture, men feel loved. Let us do our part and make each other feel loved. That's basically it, man.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.